to Resilience. I'm John Biggs. Today I'm speaking with the Managing Director of EMEA at Advanced Navigation, David Leniewski. Welcome, David.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Tell us a little bit about Advanced Navigation.
So, in a nutshell, Advanced Navigation is a global Australian technology company. We're focused on one of the most fundamental challenges in defence and autonomy in today's modern area of warfare. The challenges that we've got is knowing precisely where you are, where you're heading, and enabling systems to keep operating, particularly when GPNS is unavailable or it's being deliberate through spoofing or jamming. So what we design and manufacture high-performance inertial navigation systems, sensors, and autonomy technologies. And those allow the platforms that we are on to navigate with exceptional accuracy in some of the world's most demanding environments. So whether that's on land, sea, underwater, in the air, our technology provides a trusted positioning, navigation data that modern systems depend upon. As you may know, the operating environment today is increasingly contested. You just have to look out to Eastern Europe. GPS jamming or spoofing are becoming commonplace, and military forces need a resilient navigation solution that performs when traditional satellite navigation cannot be relied upon. So that's where our expertise in advanced inertial sensing comes in.
That's the most interesting part about this, the spoofing and the jamming. What is the prevalence of that?
So, and I always go back to what it was like when I was in the military. So you would normally have a map screen where it shows blue forces, it shows your position, it shows your direction, your speed, your heading, and particularly if it's an autonomous system, when you're putting positions on a map for it to fly some waypointers. When you lose that GNSS signal, you then have to go back to more resilient systems, your inertial navigation systems, which is effectively like dead reckoning. So it's calculating your heading and speed, and it's basically then trying to manually calculate where your position is on that map without the GNSS signal that you would normally get from the satellite.
And there's obviously also the concern that the telemetry signal that the drone or the person is actually sending back might be jammed as well. Do you have any control over that? Or is the hope that once this thing is out in the field, it's going to use its own inertial sensing to continue its mission?
Yeah, so we don't necessarily control, the spoofing or the jamming system. What we are doing is our system is looking for that GNSS signal, and when we lose that GNSS signal, we kind of take over the navigation, the inertial navigation of the platform. But we do have some ways of detecting and understanding if we are being spoofed. For example, some of the systems we see were in Eastern Europe. You may have heard of a system called Lima, which effectively is telling navigation systems that you're somewhere in Peru, in Lima for exactly. And our system can determine that signal is an incorrect signal, normally by the direction that the signal is coming into the platform. So we can understand that we're being spoofed, and we can take over the navigation of the platform then using our systems.
What happens in a world where this is less needed? You guys are dual use right now. Do you still have a number of contracts that are associated not with the military?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, so we are a dual use company. My background is military, so I tend to always lean toward our military applications. But yeah, we are supporting a number of major manufacturers of mining equipment. Our systems work really well underground and undersea, where you don't get a GNSS signal, to give hyper accurate positioning of mining platforms in mines, to give hyper-accurate positioning of underwater systems that are, inspecting pipes, inspecting cables, inspecting gantries of oil rigs, etc.
What do you think is missing in the defense sector right now? You guys are selling into it. What would be the next product for advanced navigation?
So for me, the next step for advanced navigation, in my opinion, is that we want to expand our offering so we can provide a more holistic navigation system. So incorporating vision systems, potentially manufacturing our own antennas so we can provide the full system. At the moment, we provide components within the navigation system, and we are now looking to increase the offering so we can provide the whole navigation solution.
And then building out the company. The company is based in Australia. What's the mission there? How far along are you in your European expansion?
So we have literally just signed a new lease for a UK site here in the north of England in Newcastle. That's going to predominantly be a sales, logistics and support site where we're going to have some engineering capabilities to support our customers within the EMEA market space. We are looking at having manufacturing within Europe. We are currently in conversations with a number of countries within Europe about where that may be best placed. So I can't really go into too much detail in that. We're also doing a very similar exercise in the US. We've got a similar site to ours in Huntsville, Alabama, and they're also looking at expanding our US offering.
Is there anything that you see on the horizon that could either make much of this technology obsolete? Is there anything going to pop up that you guys are getting ahead of?
I think at the moment, and I can't speak for any new technology that I don't know about, but at the moment, the world operates on GNSS or GPRS. There's more satellites going all of the time, and a lot of our technology is now becoming very dependent on those satellite signals. So I think there's always going to be a case where the ability of foreign actors to deny that signal and that service is always going to be a threat, and that could be anything from hard effectors, to in the simplest terms, blow those satellites out of the sky, or it could be jamming, or it could be a number of things that my brain can't even compute at the moment. So I think there's always going to be a requirement to have a secondary system that can do the dead reckoning, the inertial navigation calculations, so that it can provide accurate positioning info to the platform and to the user. I can't see anything else at the moment that would take that away. The technology may advance. You may bring more AI or quantum technology within it, but at the end of the day, I think there's still always going to be a system on the platform that is doing that calculation when you do have the GNSS signal denied or jammed.
Well, David, thank you for joining us and sharing a little bit about the company.
Always.
All right.
It was great.
This has been Resilience. I'm John Biggs.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.